Hey guys, what's up? It is Thursday, August 1st, which means that the NEWTs have started. And I'm gonna update while I get ready a little bit. Not doing anything special today. Well, my parents accepted an offer on my childhood home. So we're going to look at my mom's new house later today. Or like possible new house later today. So that's about it. The rest of the day will be for reading. I started reading in the middle of the night last night because my youngest, my baby, is sick. Well, I don't even know if he's sick. It's more that he has a fever and I think it's from his teeth. But then last night he was like up all night. All right, so I started reading All My Friends Are Superheroes by Andrew Kaufman, which fulfills the prompt to read a book that a friend recommends. Cody over at Cody's Book Corner recommended it in her NEWTs recommendation video for Gryffindors. I'm not a Gryffindor, but whatever. Cody's my friend, so that counts. So I started reading that. It's a short novel, and I have it in an ebook, which is why it's the one I picked up, because it was the middle of the night and I had my phone. So far, it's pretty interesting. It's about a guy who gets married to a superhero called the Perfectionist, and her ex-boyfriend is called Hypno. He's a hypnotizer, and on their wedding night, Hypno hypnotizes the Perfectionist into believing that her husband doesn't exist, that he's left her. So he, the main character, I believe his name is Tom, he's got like until a flight to her new like state where she's moving to convince her that he does exist. The cool thing is that you get all these little asides of other superheroes with very weird powers, and so far it's very entertaining. I'd say I'm about a quarter to a third of the way through because I was up a lot last night. So that prompt is likely going to be done before this weekend, which is good because the Diviners Read Along starts this weekend, hosted by Chelsea and Melanie and Jane and Madeline. So that's a week-long readathon, and I already have it tabbed up for the day's pages. So I'd like to finish both All My Friends Are Superheroes by then, and I'm tackling the 2 mangas I have on my TBR first because I want to start the month strong. So this morning, once I finally came downstairs, picked up Princess Jellyfish Volume 4, the omnibus, so I don't know what specific volumes this entails at this point. A lot. 7 and 8. There we go. It says it right on the back. Obviously it's the 4th one, so I've been talking about this series on my channel for a while now, so I won't really go into the synopsis of it, but I did miss these characters, and I would like to get through all of this series before the end of the year. But I think there's a lot of them, like 11, maybe 12 of bind-ups, so that's happening. And then lastly, after I finish this, which I hope to today, I'll start Full Metal Alchemist, which is, Princess Jellyfish is for the prompt to read a book that's not first in a series. And Full Metal Alchemist is to read a manga / graphic novel, etc. So getting those out of the way. Also, I'm not doing any of my makeup right now. I'd never be good at doing one of those chatty get ready with me's because I get distracted. What was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? I really don't remember. Oh, I do remember now. So my TBR video, I filmed it on the 18th and I put it up Tuesday? And I think I've changed a few things since then. So, what have I changed? Yellow on the cover, which is your house color on the cover, and I am Hufflepuff, so yellow. I had said I would read Silver Linings Playbook by Matthew Quick because honestly it's the only book that I owned that isn't like an epic fantasy that had yellow on the cover, and I really just am not looking forward to it. So I stopped at the library the other day. I was hoping to get the On Honeymooners by Christina Lauren, but I also assumed that they wouldn't have it since it's still new and in high demand, and I was correct. So instead I got my Half Nightstand, or whatever it's called, by Christina Lauren, which is solidly yellow. And I believe Lacey, my girl Lacey over at Lacey D. Bell, really liked it. So I think I'm gonna switch that out and look more forward to the Christina Lauren book than I would Silver Linings Playbook. It's one of those books I got at Borders when it was like bargain price because it was the movie tie-in edition, and nobody really likes those covers. Like years ago, like when the movie was popular. And I just have no interest in actually reading it. So there's that. Also, I was trying to, I think that's the only thing I have changed so far. I was trying to fit in Foolish Hearts by Emma Mills or A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. But if you guys remember my owls, I kind of switched stuff up as I went. So we'll see as we get closer to other prompts coming up as I finish books and move on to other books. Oh no, the other one I was gonna switch is I had Nixia by Scott Rankin on my TBR for a black cover, but I might switch it up to Spin the Dawn because I just got that in Owl Crate and I'm a little bit behind on all my Owl Crate books. Like, I just haven't been reading them. So I kind of want to tackle that a little bit. So we'll see when I get to it if that's something I'll do. It looks like it's a pretty fast book for fantasy anyway. So I don't know. It'll depend on whether I'm in the mood for sci-fi or fantasy when I get there. But I'll let you guys know. That's it, I think. I'm gonna finish getting ready and read more Princess Jellyfish. Okay, that's it. Not too bad. Started the NEWTs. I have faith. It's gonna be a decent month. Actually, it's gonna be a pretty busy month. My daughter will turn 5 this month. She starts kindergarten. My son will be in 1st grade. That all starts this month. My mom will be moving at the end of the month. We'll see how it goes. All right, bye. Just wanted to do a quick update that I have finished Princess Jellyfish Volume 4, so my first book of the NEWTs is completed. I'm giving it 4 stars. It was like a lot of semantics because at the point they're at and like working through a business, they need to get a little more serious past the art stage and go into the business stage, and most of the book focused on that. So it wasn't my absolute favorite, but I still really like the characters and where it's going. So 1 book down, 4 stars, pretty strong start. It is 3:40 almost. We're waiting for my mom to call off work, so like from leaving work, so we can go see the place she intends to buy. And also I'm halfway through All My Friends Are Superheroes by Andrew Kaufman. It's really weird. I'm kind of trying to figure out where the second half of the story is gonna go, but it's moving very fast and I am enjoying like the little quips and the little different ways he's made superheroes very basic, like out of anything. There's one that was like, my favorite so far has been the clean as you go girl who just cleans as she goes. When a pen's out of ink, it gets thrown out. When a towel's dirty, it gets washed. That kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm in day 1. All right. Every time I'm like, you know what, this month I'm not gonna eat out as much. I'm gonna eat healthy. I'm gonna be great, you know, something like my period comes and I go and get fucking my favorite Thai food. Red curry with vegetables, fried tofu with peanut dipping sauce. All right, see you guys when I'm eating it, I guess. It's 5:30 on Saturday. I didn't film any clips yesterday. I only have like a 10-second clip from earlier today. I had to take my youngest to the doctor yesterday morning, the walk-in hours at the clinic, because the fever that he's had that I thought was from teething spiked on Wednesday, I want to say, and then it wasn't going down Thursday, and I was like, if he wakes up in the morning and he still has a fever, I'm going to take him to the doctor. Typically with fevers, like, there's nothing they can do, which ended up being the case, but he apparently has hand-foot-mouth disease, which is like very common in kids in daycare, but he doesn't go to daycare and I don't know how he picked it up. So essentially, apparently his throat is all covered in sores, so that's what's giving him a fever. He still has a fever. It's like 102. We're on like day 5 of not sleeping from the fever and getting sick throughout the night on me. So I didn't really update yesterday because I mostly just laid with him and let him sleep on me. So I did get a lot read, and here's the update on that. I have finished 3 books in 3 days. Technically it's 3 books in 2 days, so making really good progress. because when you have a sick baby, you don't really have anything to do but sit. So, recap quickly, I read Princess Jellyfish, Volume 4, which is for the prompt where I have to read a book that is not a first in a series. Then there is the prompt of reading a book that is a friend's suggestion, and I finished Andy Kaufman's All My Friends Are Superheroes. Not Andy Kaufman, Andrew Kaufman. They're two different people. Both of those were 4 stars. Then I picked up on a whim, I was like, you know what, I don't want to read Silver Linings Playbook by Matthew Quick. I think I said this in a clip from Thursday, since it's been a whole 48 hours, I can't remember. But I picked up from the library My Favorite Half Night Stand by Christina Lauren, and I read it all yesterday. It was a very quick read. Some of it is like told in text messages and via letters and stuff, so it kind of, it's not like a, I don't know. It was a quick read. Christina Lauren, I've only read one other book by them, which is Roomies. I didn't care for it. I gave that a 3 stars, so I didn't go into this with high hopes. I ended up giving it a 4 star. The premise is that this girl has like a group of friends. They're all guys, so it's 4 guys and this girl Millie. And, you know, she's kind of like a guy's girl, and they've been friends for a couple years, and they all like work together to some degree. And they decide that they're all going to, like, they're too old to be single, so they're going to join a dating app all together at the same time and kind of like help each other find dates to this work event that's later in their lives. Anyway, so of course, like any romance or whatever, there's one person in the group of 4 guys that they kind of have feelings for each other, but they can't figure it out, yada yada. It was very much a romance trope that, like, I enjoyed reading it. I don't like the ending. I hate when endings, especially if contemporaries, wrap up very cookie cutter, like, and everyone was happy despite all the shit they went through. I don't know why I sang that. In any case, and I think that some of it was a little weird. There's like some catfishing that happens. I think there's a lot of things that some of the characters get away with doing that they shouldn't have, or at least should have been explored a little more. But overall, that I think also had some reasoning behind it. It was less about the fact that there wasn't a good reason for what happened to have it happen. I can't think, I haven't slept in fucking days. So that was fine. I get the motives behind the weird shisty stuff that happened. I'm trying to be very vague, but what I didn't like is that it wasn't really explored or talked as in depth about as it should have been once everything was revealed, and that was part of the reason that it came down a notch. I think it's more of a 3.5, 4 star. I really want to read The On Honeymooners because it's gotten a lot of hype from a lot of friends that I trust and love, and I really like enemies to lover tropes. So I'm thinking, if I don't like The On Honeymooners, then maybe Christina Lauren just isn't really the writer for me. But I had a lot of fun with it, so I guess there's that. That's benefit. So far, solid 4-star readathon going on. So, that said, I left the book downstairs. But I did start The Diviners by Libba Bray. This is a reread for me, but Chelsea and Madeline and Jane and Melanie are all going to be doing this readathon, or read along, I should say, starting today, August 3rd through the 8th. And I've got it all tabbed up. So I read today's chunk this morning while my son took a nap, a little fever nap. If you've been on my channel for a while, literally my very first video a year ago, I talked about The Diviners because it's one of my absolute favorites. The cast of characters is just, I was like thinking about doing a video where I talk about my books with my favorite character casts. This is gonna be, like, if I do that video, it'll be one of the tops on the list. I just love every single person. And if you don't love them in the beginning, you'd learn to love them, like, throughout the series. So I'm really excited for this reread and revisiting the books each month leading up to Libba Bray's 4th installment, and I just can't wait for it. This is set in 1920s. This is a book about, the diviners are basically people like you and me, and they have special abilities, and they're only basically starting to know their abilities when we meet them in this. I'm not going to give any spoilers as to who can do what and why it matters. but it's definitely kind of a creepy book. If you don't like horror, the genre in movies or in fiction, I guess movies are fiction, this might not be the book for you, but it is one of my personal favorites. I'm excited to revisit this. So this will likely, I'd be shocked if I don't go to 5-star second time around. So that's what I'm doing. This is for LGBTQIA+ rep. So that said, because it's like there's a specific number of pages to read per day, I also am starting The Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. I left it downstairs so I don't have to hold up, but that is my book that I think has a gorgeous cover. It's a book that I have had on the back burner, and I've like skipped so many Booktubers reviews on it because it's been such a controversially reviewed book. And when people have negative opinions and I listen or see or read them before I read a book, I feel like it affects how I see a book. So I've been trying to not look at / listen to / view any of the Wicked Saints reviews. So I just want to get it done so I can finally go back and watch some of my favorite Booktubers reviews of it. So I'm about, I don't know, 30 pages into that. So that's it. I might get a little bit more of that read tonight. Otherwise, I'm not pushing myself because I'm just so fucking tired. Oh, and last but not least, I got my book of the month picks in the mail today. It was really fast. Sometimes it takes like a week, but I ordered on Wednesday, the day before August, and it came today, Saturday, so that's kind of cool. Speaking of, I know there's a ton of us that became affiliates recently, but I am a Book of the Month YA Club affiliate, so my link will now be in all my video descriptions down below. You can sign up in that link and get your first YA book for $9.99, which is pretty awesome for a new release hardcover. I'm a big fan of Book of the Month Club. Obviously, I've been subscribing to them for almost the whole year now, and I almost always get as many books as I can. You can max at 3 per order, and I almost always do that. It's just such a great subscription service. I know a lot of people on BookTube right now have affiliate links. It's just such a cool thing to see a company that's, in my opinion, pretty big, recognizing that smaller booktubers and book reviewers and book bloggers also have a voice and also can help influence people's reading, and we like to talk about it. And just because we're smaller doesn't mean that we're any, you know, like, I don't know what to say. I'm just so, it's my first affiliation, and a lot of my really good friends on BookTube are already part of the affiliation, and mine won't start like right now, so I won't get a book I think till next month. But I'm just so excited. I'm just so excited and so happy, and I'm sure you've seen it. A million different people have this link and are affiliated now, but I think that's so great. The community is so great, and Book of the Month Club is such a great service, and it's so cool of them to like reach out to people that maybe wouldn't have thought that they would be able to be an affiliate to something like this. The book community is great, and I'm just so happy and delighted, and it made my day when I got the email. Yeah, so keep an eye out for that in the future, but I will not change my subscription. I will still have Book of the Month Club outside of the YA spectrum, but I always get a YA book anyway, as you'll see in the next one. I think it's also gonna be very cool to see all the affiliates pick the book each month that they want, because we're gonna see such a variety amongst people that'll fit their personalities, I think, really well. That's the best thing about Book of the Month Club, is you get 5 choices of like a new release, like a hot new release. You get to pick one of them for $14.99. There's always something for everyone. So I think that's really great. You get contemporary and romance and fantasy and nonfiction and historical fiction and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, let's just get into what I got this month. I did get 1 YA. I did get all 3 this month. And I went for something that I wouldn't have called it. Like, when I saw the 5 books, I went back and forth between 2 of the main choices, and maybe in the future I'll get the other one once I see reviews coming in. I'm not going to say what it is just in case, but what I did end up going with is, I believe, a debut novel from someone writing under a pen name, and that is The Whisper Man by Alex North. This is a thriller that is about, if I'm not mistaken, like a little boy. So it's about a father and son who move into a new house, into a place where there had previously been a serial killer that has since stopped the crimes. I think he killed about 5 people or so. After they move to this new place, a different boy vanishes, and at the same time his son starts hearing whispers at his window. So I'm excited. I got a thriller last month because it was Blake Crouch's new book Recursion, and I loved it. Was it last month? Yeah, I think it was last month. And thrillers are one of those books that I think I read very, very rarely. Maybe 10% of my year's reading or less is thriller, but I've been kind of into it lately, and maybe it's just because I've been trying to read more like adult fiction as well, mixed into all my YA and my fantasy. I'm excited to see where this goes. And speaking of thrillers, because I also got this author's third book, and I've read their first book but not their second, I did use a credit to get The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. This has to do with like a camp, and I think something went wrong in the camp years and years ago, and now like the girl that survived it is revisiting it, something along those lines. That sounds a lot like Final Girls, his first book, but at a camp. I've heard mixed reviews about this one compared to Final Girls, but I really enjoyed Final Girls, so I picked this up because I think I even mentioned in a vlog last month, possibly, I mentioned at some point that I regretted not picking this up in the last month's box when I only got 2 books, so I'm not gonna regret it again because now I have it. And last but not least, I got this YA book, and I might actually, let's see what the text is like. Yeah, you know what? I might actually make this my black cover prompt and switch it out from Nixia by Scott Reinken, because I'm just not in a sci-fi mood, but I am in a fantasy mood. And this book is getting a lot of hype, and I think that Natalie from Pages and Panels read The Ark earlier this year, and it has remained her favorite book of the year, so I got The House of Salt and Sorrows. I'm pretty sure that it's about a girl and all of her sisters, and I believe there are a dozen of them, and like a third of them lose their lives, and then the rest are just kind of, I don't know, going to balls and trying to like figure out why there's a curse on their family, something like that. Regardless, it sounds really good. The cover's really pretty. Ooh, the pages are cute. They're a little octopus and stuff. How cute. Okay, in any case, I'm really, really excited about this. I'm excited about all of this, but I think I'm most excited about this one. So if I had gotten a YA book this month, I would have chosen this for the affiliate. But hey, I paid my own money for this because I like Book of the Month Club that much. All right, so that's my unboxing. I skipped Owl Crate this month. I have an idea of what the book is, and I'm not gonna spoil it, but, well, actually here, timestamp down below, skip ahead, but 99% sure it's this. So I got this instead for $10 as opposed to paying like $40 for an Owl Crate box full of fandom stuff that I wasn't really that interested in. So there's that. Boom. All right, welcome back. These are the 3 books that I chose for Book of the Month Club this month. Cannot wait to get to them. I might be saving the thrillers for closer to fall because that just feels right, but also, I don't know. I got so many books to read. I got so many books to read. All right, I'm gonna go get some food because I haven't really eaten much today. Sick babies are a drain, and that's it for me. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Quick update, even though my neighbor's parking behind me. I haven't read as much as I wanted to yet today. I'm reading The Diviners by Libba Bray with the read along. We've talked about it a lot. I've got probably about, I don't know, 50 pages to go for today's pages. Loving it, loving the foreshadowing that I'm seeing now that I know like where the series goes. Libba Bray is a freaking genius. Oh my God. Secondarily, I started The Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan last night. I got 102 pages in. I can see why people didn't really love it because I'm not fully invested in it, and there are a lot of characters with a lot of Russian-based vocabulary and names, so it's kind of hard to follow a little bit, but I also was only half paying attention because I was reading it while I was gaming, because if anyone plays video games, specifically Destiny 2, it's solstice, which means that there's like a month to do all these activities and get a specific gear set, and for anybody that's not a gamer, you don't care, but my husband's really wanting to do it, and some of the things within it are hard to get by yourself. So yeah, that's it. My neighbor's here. Okay. It's Monday morning. Bless you. I literally went from my lunch date to
my mom's house with the bigger kids while my husband stayed home with the baby. And by the time I got home, I stayed later because I didn't have the baby that had like a solid bedtime. So I got home at like 10:30. I didn't do any more reading, so I'm behind in the Diviners read along, but I'm gonna catch up today. I'm gonna upload this video and then start a new weekly vlog. I read 3 books and it is the 5th. I'm doing okay. I'm actually quite proud. I think I'm gonna do pretty well this month as long as I keep on track. My baby is messing with my husband's shoe collection, so I'm gonna call it. Like if you like this video, subscribe if you are new here and want to see more content from me. I leave all my social media links down below. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Goodreads. Hope you're having a great day. Happy August. Good luck on your newts. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye. Can you say bye? Say bye-bye. No? Can I have a kiss?